What is up, party people? Today is my first ever YouTube video on makeup. It's actually a first impression video, so I have gone through and taken a bunch of different products that I've never used before and I use them on my face today. So if you are interested in watching and seeing the 39A palette from Morphe being used to create this look, please keep on watching. I don't think I'll ever understand how girls in like face washing commercials can keep their hair from getting wet whenever they do the thing to like wash their face. We are going to do a first impression product review. This is my first makeup tutorial, so we'll see how this goes. I have a multitude of different products here. I have an e.l.f. foundation I'm going to try to use, see how that turns out, an e.l.f. primer, and a couple other products that are drugstore affordable. So without further ado, we are gonna get started. We're gonna go ahead and start off with the e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer. It looks like this. It says on the back of the box, a multi-purpose primer preps your skin so makeup goes on evenly for a long-lasting matte finish. I have really dry skin, so I don't know how I feel about that. Formula is infused with grape and vitamins A, C, and E to help boost complexion and hydrate your skin. Well, I guess if it's hydrating, maybe it won't matter. Just kind of do a little bit. For a while there, I was having a really hard time putting on way too much primer. It made my makeup look kind of cakey. And then last week, I realized if I only put like a tiny bit on my face, then it won't look like that. So yeah, I learned something. Alright, so this feels hydrating, I guess. I always like to do my eyes first, just in case I mess up and have to wipe it all off, and then I'm not like having to reapply everything. I got the Morphe 39A Dare to Create palette. Guys, look. You can see my ring light. Let's take that out here. Look at this. Just look at it. Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Ooh, purple. We're going with purple. I also got the Wet n Wild Pro brush set. Looks like this and comes in a holographic package. I opened these up and looked at them, but I have not used them yet, so they're brand spanking new. They're really pretty though. Like shiny handles. This set comes with 10 professional face and eye makeup brushes. And it comes with a dome pencil eye brush, a tapered blending brush, flat contour brush, precision foundation brush, large powder brush, precision setting brush, blush brush, tapered highlighting brush, fluffy blending brush, and one precision flat faced brush. So yeah, this cost about $30 in the stores. So I mean, that's like $3 a brush, which is not bad. They're really soft. Wet n Wild is actually a cruelty-free vegan brand. It says it on the packaging right here, which is really awesome if you are into cruelty-free makeup brands. Plus, they're super cheap. Like, I'll be honest, when I was younger, I thought Wet n Wild was like a kid's makeup thing. I did not know that people actually used it for everyday makeup. Maybe they've just like grown since then. Alright, so I think I decided what I'm gonna do, and since I don't have anywhere to go, I am going to jump in with some of these purples up here in the corner, because they look amazing. I'm gonna zoom you in and we're gonna get started. I'm going to prep my eyes with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind as a primer. I know this is a product that I've obviously used a lot, as you could tell by the tube. And rub that in. Very nice. And then I'm gonna go in and I'm actually gonna set it with my Wet n Wild Mega Glow Dulce de Leche contouring palette. It looks like this. I'm gonna use this banana shade in here just because I think it's a really good setting powder. Now we got the eyes prepped and set, we are gonna go into the Morphe palette. I have not touched any of these products yet, so this is all gonna be a first impression. I haven't even swatched these. I am going to go into the shade Canvas in the palette. It's one of the transition shades. It is the second over. I'm gonna go in lightly because I have no idea how pigmented these are. Oh gosh, that's really pigmented. Blend till your fingers bleed. that actually ended up blending out really nicely from this perspective. Now I think I'm gonna go in with Sculpt to kind of darken up that transition shade. The very last one in the transition line here. I don't want it too dark. I mean, that is a lot of pigment that comes off on that brush. Try to focus it more on the outer than the complete inner. Just take whatever is left on your brush and swoop it. I try to focus it mostly out here. Alright. That looks so orange on camera, not that orange in my mirror. This is where I think I'm going to go in with my own brushes from my Morphe eye set that I got for like 25 bucks. It was a steal, I'm not going to lie. It came with so many brushes. They're all mixed in with all my other brushes, or I would hold them up and show you guys. I got two of these amazing crease brushes that I love. One is a little bit fluffier than the other one. So we're going to go in with the slightly bigger one and go into the shade Passion. It is the top shade right up here, kind of a purpley maroon shade. It's really pretty. I'm kind of gonna go off of what my shirt shows, if you know what I mean. A little bit on the brush because, like I said before, these are super pigmented. I'm gonna concentrate on just that outer corner right now. I think I'm gonna do a halo eye. Into that crease a little bit. Darken that up a little bit. We're gonna go back in with a teeny bit of Sculpt on the very tip of the brush to kind of help blend out the dark purple that is formed. We don't want to look like we've been punched in the eye now, do we? On that same brush, we're going to go right back in with Canvas. Just a teeny bit on the brush. Once again, blend it. Alright, we're going to take one of the other fluffy blending brushes from the Wet n Wild kit. The thicker one, it's very tapered at the top. And kind of just go in lightly, clean brush, and blend this out a little bit. On a flat brush, I have another round flat brush from my Morphe set. Looks like this. We're going to go in with the shade Trendy. It is this purple shade here on the end, and we're going to put that right in the middle to form the halo eye. I think before I put this on my lid though, I'm going to go ahead and spray it with some Wet n Wild setting spray. This stuff is amazing. It's my favorite setting spray. Just enough. I'm such a perfectionist about making those match. Like, it drives me crazy if they do not match. Last step, I think we are gonna go in with a more tapered blending brush from my Morphe set. We're gonna go into the color Forever, which is this darker purple, and we're just gonna darken up the outer corner a little bit more to make it a little more dramatic. Just a little bit, because remember, they're pigmented. Just tap it in there. Tap it. And then do not forget to go in there and blend. We're gonna go back in with that Morphe brush that had the color Passion on it. Take just a teeny bit and go in and kind of blend that color. We're gonna kind of go up to above the halo eye. really blend out. Once again, with that brush from Wet n Wild, we're going to go in, the one that is tapered, and blend out this corner here. And this is okay. If you get messy out here, we're going to go in with the makeup wipe and clean that up because we lazy. Alright, go in and wipe away. And make whatever you want. If you want a line, make a line. I try to get it as even as possible because I'm OCD. We are going to go in with an e.l.f. foundation. I've never used an e.l.f. foundation before. I've heard good things about it. This is just their Flawless Finish foundation. It looks like this. On the back of the box it says lightweight and oil-free formula is designed to help even your skin tone for a long-lasting, beautiful semi-matte finish. Semi-matte is good. Some of my foundations I have are so luminous they make me feel like wet, and I don't like that. By the way, this thing doesn't twist off. This is a pull off and there's a pump. I didn't know that. I'm going to pump this out onto the back of my hand. I hope that color matches because it looks a little yellow for me. Let's see. I'm going with the Morphe sponge, which I've never used before. Okay, we're going to see what happens. Oh, too much. I don't know if that's the brush that smells funny or the foundation. Build it up a little bit. Little bit of dew, but not very much. I got way too much on my hand. What do you do with extra foundation? Alright, foundation is on. It actually looks pretty decent. I don't know how it's gonna be like for creasing and stuff like that. I crease really bad and my smile lines around my mouth. So I usually try to set that with a little bit of powder, but we'll get to that when we get to that. I am going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Light because I'm pale. So we're going to use this to set under the eyes. I've never used this before. All these products, unless I tell you so, I've never used them before. So we're going to see what this does because I'm kind of afraid this might not be light enough for me. Yeah, what the heck? Not really that light, is it? We're gonna roll with it. Why not? Full face, first impression makeup. I wonder if they have a lighter shade. If you know, do they have a lighter shade than light? Do they have like a fair? Because that is probably more my shade, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna go back in with that Morphe brush and just blend it out. A whale. Next we're going to go in with some setting powder in the color Sheer from e.l.f. Of course, e.l.f. cheap e.l.f. This is their HD powder, which I love their HD under eye powder, but I'm not going to use it for this video just because I want to see how this compares to it. This is a high definition loose powder. It creates a soft focus effect on the skin, helps mask fine lines and imperfections for the radiant looking complexion. New and improved design with open and close inner dial helps control amount of product dispensed per mist for easy use. Nice, because I'm really messing with my makeup. If you use Coty Airspun powder, you know how it goes everywhere. I threw away the sifter like an idiot. Peel off and turn dial. Read directions, Rachel. We're gonna just use a little bit of this powder though. Let's do half dial. I'm gonna tap it into the lid because it says pour powder down here, but I just covered it. And we're gonna go with this precision setting brush from the Wet n Wild kit and just set the under eye. Okay, makeup's coming off on the brush. Don't know how I feel about that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just doing light tapping motions. Try to set that under eye area. I'm gonna go ahead and set those other areas that I tried to highlight. Yeah, it looks like the foundation's rubbing off, so that's not a good sign. I don't know how I feel about this foundation. And then we're gonna use a little bit more of this powder with the large powder brush. It looks like this. It is the largest brush in the palette. We're gonna dip our brush in there. You see all that powder flying? I'm just kind of gonna lightly tap it. Yeah, definitely foundation came off on the brushes, which I mean, that is expected. My face looks super powdery, which is really disappointing. To set all this, I always like to set it with a setting spray before I move on to the other sections, just because I want to help keep it in place. So we're going to spray with the Wet n Wild spray. This works better than anything that I found in the drugstore. It is my all-time favorite setting spray. And it's like $5. The bottle's just small. If this bottle was bigger, I would be so happy, but it's not. So there's that. Alright, before we move on to the rest of the face, we're going to go ahead and do the under eye so we can get some color down there, because yeah, I'm looking a little flat. Now, after setting that and looking at it, I still feel really powdery. So I think I'm going to try that powder again with my own set of brushes instead of the Wet n Wild ones, since I know how to use them a little bit better, and see if I could kind of make that powder work, because I really like e.l.f.'s HD powder. We're going to go in with Canvas, that transition shade, to first go under the eye with that small dome pencil brush that came in the Wet n Wild set. I actually like this brush for this. We're going to go in with just a small bit of scope. Gradually build up. You want to do to the bottom what you did to the top. Wonderful. Now we're going to go in with the Passion color. I'm going to do that on the inner and the outer. Lightly brushing it. And we're gonna go in with Trendy right in the middle, making that halo eye. Then with just a little bit of Forever, we're gonna go in on the inner corner. Yes, I used one brush this entire time. But you know what? We're going to go in with a different brush, and we are going to blend out that bottom lash line, because you don't want it to be so harsh. Kind of like what I just did. We're going to use this Royal and Land Nickel. It's a brush from Walmart that I got. It's this pencil brush. Go in and blend out those colors. Like a this, and now we have this like orangish red eye thing that I came up with. So now we're gonna go into the rest of the face. Now I am going to go in with a new bronzer as well. It's an e.l.f. Aqua bronzer, Aqua infused blush and bronzer. It's in the blue packaging, the newer stuff. I'm gonna go in with my own brush. Once again, this is another e.l.f. Complexion brush to kind of set the bronzer on my face. This is really dark, so it might be too dark for me, but we're gonna play. We're gonna see, right? That's the whole point. It's not coming out very well on the brush. Oh, it's a gel. Ooh, okay. Weird. Okay. I was kind of wondering that when I bought this, if it was a gel. It feels so weird, guys. If you've used this and you like it, let me know. I mean, it's giving off a little bit of pigmentation, if you can see it. Interesting line, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna use the blush for that in a couple minutes. Okay, now we're gonna go in with my Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette Kit. Again, the Dulce de Leche. We're gonna use that other shade. Obviously, you can tell this has had much love, and it has this really weird sinkhole in it. There was like an air bubble or something, but I'm trying to be really careful with it because it's falling all over the place. We're gonna use that same brush we used the bronzer with and go in, and we're gonna contour the face. Looks like I went in really heavy-handed, but I didn't, I promise. Done with that. We're gonna go back into that blush. It's really weird, guys. I don't know how I feel about it at all. And this is the blush brush from the Wet n Wild set. It looks like this. And see how this works. You can kind of see the pigment come off on it a little bit. It's just weird. I don't know what I'm doing, if this is right. I mean, it looks right. We're gonna go into the highlighting part, which is usually the most exciting part of any video, is the highlighter. I have the NYX Strobe of Genius palette that I got from Walgreens. It looks like this. It was on sale when I got it. It was like $10, and this thing's usually $19. I've used it one time on a friend, but I've not used it for myself. So we're gonna see how this goes. And I think I'm going to go in with, we're gonna go in with the shade on the end just to see what that does. I'm gonna see if I can get like a little lighter with this. We're gonna go into this very white shade on the end here. Can you see that glow? Tip of the nose. Some on the chin. And on, I can't spell. I'm glowing. I already went ahead and did one eye for eyeliner to make sure that this pen worked because they dry out really quickly, but these are my favorite, once again an e.l.f. product, these are my favorite felt tip liners just because the tip is super skinny, it's really easy to work with, and I love it. I went ahead and did this eye already, so I'm going to go ahead and do this one on camera, but look down at my mirror. Alright, so both of the eyes are done, and then we are going to go in, and I did not get a new mascara. I decided to go ahead and stick with the ones I have because I know they work well, even though I'm not going anywhere. I'm stuck at home with no car right now. I have the Rimmel Wonder Lash, which I love, but I also use the Voluminous Lash Paradise from L'Oreal. Looks like this. You guys have seen it in the store, I am sure. And I'm going to go ahead and layer them. That's typically what I do when I put on my mascaras. Go ahead and curl them. I'm going to go in with the Wonder Lash first and do a coat. Go ahead and do the bottom ones as well. I'm here. And then we're going to go ahead and go in with the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. Alright. Do that one. I'm going to go in and do the other eye, and I will be right back. Alright, I got both of the eyes done. I did not do falsies just because, like I said earlier, I'm not going anywhere tonight and that feels like too much work, and I'm not the best at falsies yet, so I'm still getting used to it. However, we are going to do a lippy. I'm excited about this. I have 3 lip colors from Morphe. I have Faithful, which is a pink, Runway, which is like an orangey pink. I got these with my 39A palette, and the one I'm going to use is Blush. It is the most pinkish purple lippy that came in the package, so we're gonna go ahead and figure out how to apply that. I do not like this. It definitely did not turn out the color that I thought, and it's super patchy on the lips. You see that? Gross. So we're not going to go in with this lippy. I'm kind of afraid to try any of the others. We're going to try to go in with Faithful and see if that's any different. Okay. Came out with a little bit of oil, so that's promising, right? I like this one better. And a last step, as always, is that Wet n Wild setting spray. And that completes today's look. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out my channel. Please feel free to subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye!